Sequence of calculation and fixing calculation values of line. We are in a table recalc. We have such a field in the footer column. This field is sum. Here we have code that goes to sum or xsum depending on the checkbox. And xsum itself uses sum. And there is nothing wrong with this code, because we either go to sum, and then this bit of code is calculated. Or we go to xsum, and then it kind of calculates sum and calculates select. So these kinds of calculations are happening. So when it goes to xsum, it calls sum and then it calls select. Well, they're like this the other way around. They're placed 1, 1, and there. Just like this. That's what will happen. So when it goes to xsum, it's going to calculate sum and then it's going to calculate. Everything is all right here. I'm analyzing this code for comparison, because now we will duplicate this field. Duplicate. Let's call it sum2. Here we'll update sort 70. Save. Here it is, sum2. And in the condition, instead of the checkbox we'll use again sum. We'll do it like this. Here, if the sum is less than 50, then sum. If the sum is greater or equal to 50, then xsum. And what we have here is this. That sum is called first in the condition. In condition this part of the code will be executed, and then if the condition is less than 50, we'll go to then and then sum will be called again, and when it's called, it will be again calculated. Thus, if the sum is less than 50, the same part of the sum code is calculated twice. This can cause serious overrun, because there may be a very large code in this part. Let's see. Let's keep it. How does it work now? For example, here we had 25, we put 0. Here we have 45 here, when it's less than 50. Yeah, the extra value is not added there. What to do if we want to avoid overrun? That is, we calculate the value here, we do not need to calculate the value again. With xsum we get the same story. If the value is greater than 70, the calculation will go here, to xsum, and then it returns to sum again. But it was already calculated here. If the value of the code line is not fixed, it will be recalculated. We put a tilde like this. It changes color a little bit here, and that means that the value of this line will be saved when it is first calculated. That is, when we calculate condition here, it goes here to sum, calculates this sum, realizes that there is, for example, 70 or 45. What's next? If he goes here, he will just take 45. If he goes here, he will go here. Here he takes 45 and executes the select. Let's see, that way the load is reduced. Set it at 0. Here is 45. It works. But we won't see any difference in speed here because this is a very simple calculation. But for large calculations it can be very noticeable. In what cases can it lead to calculation error? It can lead to error when iterative calculations are performed. For example, we will make a data field in the footer. Set start from a new line. Okay. So there is a data field. Write this code in the code. This code makes a list of dates. What it looks like. Here we have a list of dates based on the current date. What happens here? It's a loop. We'll study them later in the advanced part. There's a limit of 30, and then this set is calculated at each iteration of those 30. If we, for example, take and fix the set, it will be calculated for the first time, and then it will return this value. Now you will see that all the dates will be the same. More correctly, it will be the only one. Because in set there is also addition to the list, and with tilde this addition does not happen. That is, instead of calculating, it always returns the value already calculated. All 30 iterations return the same date. You have to be very careful with these kinds of interactive calculations, because you can fix an element that should change from loop to loop, and it will take the same value because you put a tilde to fix it. Okay, let's save that. That's basically all you need to know about fixing lines.